Bob. Good evening, Bob, from a sold-out HB Pavilion, normally the home of the San Jose Sharks of the NHL. After a national championships 3 weeks ago in St. Louis and night one of the Olympic trials, we've determined that Jordan Weber is America's best gymnast, but just by a few tenths. And we'll see her on the uneven bars in just a few moments. But our coverage begins tonight with the number 2. The up-and-comer, the 16-year-old Gabrielle Douglas, who trains in West Des Moines, Iowa, in the gym of the very popular and Olympic medal-winning Shawn Johnson. The difference between her and Jordan Weber was just 0.3 of a point. I'm joined by Tim Daggett, Elfie Schlegel, and Andrea Joyce. And what's on the line here tonight initially, Tim, is one guaranteed spot based on the competition and then 4 selections.
Exactly. Gabby, unfortunately, almost sat this down about 35 seconds ago.
Not there.
That is as great as she has ever done it in a meet. She gets a big hug from Lin Chow, her coach, and of course, the coach of Olympic great.
That's a super confident start for Gabby. She had mistakes in day 1 of the competition. She's going to keep this close.
So a stunning beginning for a young American who wants to be in London in a few weeks. It's just the beginning of an important special night.
How many moments of your life will you remember forever? When you discovered the uneven bars, your first time on the beam, a successful vault, maybe you don't. Whatever it is that sticks in your mind, July 1st, 2012 is one night these women will never forget. For Nastia Liukin, the 2008 gold medalist, it may be the last time she wears a USA leotard.
Oh dear.
With that fall right there, I don't know if it's possible for Nastia Liukin.
For Jordan Weber, it could be the confirmation of what she's been proving time after time.
That's a great set. She's ready. Bring on the Olympics.
Or it could be the night that Michaela Maroney erases an injury that scared everyone. And when Gabby Douglas performs under pressure in the most important competition of her life.
Big routine right there. Look at that smile.
For Aly Raisman, this might be the night when her poker face smiles.
One more night like that, and she is unquestionably an Olympian.
And for a girl on the cusp, Kyla Ross, it could be when she justifies her place on the team. For Elizabeth Price, just the possibility of the Olympics is enough to bring her 73-year-old coach, Bill Strauss, to tears. The next 2 hours, the last steps, when dreams come true, and some do not. Before it even happens, this lasts a lifetime.
NBC Sports coverage of the 2012 U.S. Olympic Gymnastics Trials is presented by Chevrolet. Over 17,000, one of the largest crowds they've ever had in this building. And Jordan Weber is warming up for the uneven bars. After one night of competition, you see her lead over Gabrielle Douglas was only 0.3. Then Aly Raisman, then Elizabeth Price, one of the surging surprises from night one, and then the 15-year-old Kyla Ross. Gabby Douglas, a 16, that deserves a green because of the few deductions. The higher you go, the green becomes yellow, and then eventually red if your deductions are in a dangerous spot. So a 16.0.
That is gigantic for Gabby. The best vault I've ever seen her do, the highest score I've ever seen her get.
And 2/10 better than the first night of competition.
Jordan Weber has won just about every title that there is to win.
And this is not Jordan's strength. However, she's been handling it so well in competition.
She's upgraded her difficulty for her dismount. She'll do a double laid out somersault with a full twist.
What a beginning.
She looks absolutely unstoppable.
We said it in night one. She is ready for the Olympic Games.
Is dismount an upgrade from what she performed at the national championships a few weeks ago? She'll flip her body in a completely straight position, which makes it hard to turn over, and she'll add that full twist, get those feet to the ground.
Was that a stick?
No, it's not a stick. That was a 10th off. Coach John Getter. They've all been watching Yin Alvarez on the men's side.
So Gabrielle Douglas starts with a 16. Jordan Weber responds. One choice will be guaranteed, and a little bit less than 2 hours from now, Marta Caroli and her selection committee will name 4 others. NBC's coverage of the 2012 U.S. Gymnastics trials brought to you by Chevrolet. From one amazing moment to the next, Chevy runs deep. By Panasonic ToughPad Tablet, Fearless. By Ice Age Continental Drift, July 13th, only in theaters. And by BP. Outside the HP Pavilion, the Gymnastics Fan Fest. Watch gymnasts perform. There are interactive displays. Former Olympians visit. It's a celebration of the sport, and it has been a very popular destination. Now, Jordan Weber just responded to Gabby Douglas, and here's how things work on our scoring, just to help clarify some of these numbers that come up. If you get 1.2 deductions or less, that's good. That's a green. That's go. If it gets a little bit higher than that, 1.3 to 1.9, that's the danger zone. And if it's above 2, that could be a stopper. Jordan Weber's score thus with 1.050 in deductions on the uneven bars, 15.35. That means right now, Gabby Douglas has the lead, but things can even out as we move through the 4 apparatus. To Allie Raisman from Needham, Massachusetts.
And this is an event where Allie, she just wants to get through. She knows that she is not going to be someone that they're going to rely on in the team finals, but she's actually really improved quite a bit. Told us she's been doing about 7 hit bar routines a day in training. She just lacks a little with the form. You see the legs slightly coming apart.
But what Allie continues to prove with each and every competition is her mental toughness. These are the qualities that Marta Caroli is looking for. She loves her for that. She would love to see her lead this team.
Tim, what would be your emotion if either of the 3 girls that we've seen so far are not selected to the team?
Utter shock, and it's not going to happen.
To vault. And Kyra Ross, who will turn 16 in October, but that's okay in the Olympic year as long as you turn 16. How much on the bubble is she?
She is right there. I think that she's still on most people's list, but she hasn't been the incredible competitor that we're used to. She makes little tiny errors. She's actually going to downgrade her vault from what she did night 1 where she fell.
Playing it safe.
What do you mean?
She downgraded her vault, which is worth typically a 6.5. Same kind of vault we'll see from Allie Raisman, what we saw from Gabby Douglas, Jordan Weber. She's chosen to go with a stick, an easier vault to keep it clean, no mistakes.
So that's more what Marta Caroli wanted her to do.
Yeah, well, that's what Marta told her to do at the national championships. She said she could have the green light to give it a go, and she does 1 less half twist. And when she does that, she loses 7 potential tenths in maximum score.
So no surprise then that she gets a 14.45. Oh, Raisman gets a 14.45, and see, that's a cautionary score.
But that's okay for her there. That's okay. She'll take it. That's right in the neighborhood of where she typically is.
And if the U.S. were in a situation, they could use her.
Kyra Ross, 15.15. So the gymnasts we've seen are 1/4 of the way through. Much more to come as we determine tonight, live, who represents the United States at the London Olympics. On the other side of the break, Darren Torres gives us all hope at 45. She swims in the 50-meter semifinal, and then we'll be back live here in San Jose, California. Our coverage of the 2012 U.S. Olympic trials is presented by Chevrolet. Capital of Silicon Valley is San Jose, California. The first rotation is done. Significant for Gabby Douglas in that she has the lead, and that top spot is guaranteed to go to the Olympics after the competition. But that is all that is guaranteed. Now, the first rotation did not pass without incident for Michaela Maroney. A lot to make the team 3 weeks ago. She had a freak accident, a concussion, and a fractured nasal situation, but she came back here, and now she's on the uneven bars moments ago.
And, you know, she's a lock if you only look at vaulting. She's the best in the world on vault. It's going to be much more difficult for her to make the Olympics than to win an Olympic gold medal. And right there, you see just a huge error. And to give her some kudos, though, I can't believe that she was able to recover again. But she scored only a 13.7. She missed in day one on uneven bars, and Marta doesn't like missers.
And that's the important thing there. Marta Crowley, although she knows she's fantastic on vault and can help significantly, she would like to see this young lady at least one other event where she could contribute.
5 members to the team, and on any one event, in the team event in the Olympics, you use 3 gymnasts and all scores count. If you used someone like Michaela Maroney on the uneven bars and that happened, your team would be doomed. To veteran Anna Lee, an outstanding career at UCLA, a tremendous honor to get to the Olympic trials.
And this is her moment right here, because if she makes the team, it is because of this one exercise, the most difficult routine being done. Watch this combination. Beautiful. The hardest routine that the Americans can put up right here. Another really cool release coming up. Watch this.
If she lands this dismount, this will be her second complete stuck routine. She's going to add a little chatter to that selection committee.
Give them something to talk about, that's for sure. She gets a hug from Olympic medalists, parents, and coaches. Johnny and Lee Uejo. That was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Talk about timing. Perfect.
And you know what is amazing? She actually was one of a group where if you took the best scores from night one, she actually made the team.
Now Jordan Weber trying to reclaim the top spot.
Jordan said she went back after St. Louis in the national championships and winning that title, looked at her routines and tried to find ways that she could perfect them even more. Big combination here. Important that there isn't any hesitation in between those acrobatic skills.
Oh! She actually was supposed to connect those 2 elements. She'll lose 0.2 of a point for that. And also get a deduction.
These are such crucial areas. Here's another combination right here. Is forced to put her foot down. Again, not getting the combination and the important tense that she is looking for. Just a little bit jittery tonight. And the bigger picture for Jordan is, come London, making those little tiny mistakes. Boy, those judges, they are not forgiving. But this is a huge dismount. She's been working on perfecting the dismount landing.
A couple of bobbles early on, but she will never back down. And I personally don't think that that was anything. I don't think it had anything to do with nerves. I think that, you know, it's balance beam. It's really hard. She's doing incredibly difficult stuff because she doesn't crack under pressure. That's all there is to it.
So after the World Championships, what Jordan did last year when she won in Tokyo was she went back to the gym and she upgraded her balance beam routine. This is one of those combinations that she's been doing for some time, but again, has to keep them tightly connected.
And this super hard right here, and she's supposed to continue right into the next skill. She has that balance check. She loses 0.2 of a point in connection and a deduction for the error.
We'll get her score in a moment, and we can tell you that Anna Lee has put up the highest score that we have seen at the trials, 15.55. So why the yellow?
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, there is an element that she originated, her own skill, taken from men's gymnastics, that they are choosing in the USA to evaluate extremely critically. And it's an automatic 5/10 deduction, and that's just crazy.
One of the really fun stories that developed on night one was Elizabeth Price. Before night one, she wasn't in the conversation that we had about who might or might not make the team. But she's coached by Bill and Donna Strauss, who have been coaching gymnastics in Pennsylvania since the early 60s. Over the course of their careers, and Bill is now 73, they have sent 18 gymnasts to these Olympic trials and 3 to the Olympics. When they saw what Elizabeth did on night one and the momentum that she built, Bill realized that there's a possibility here. Nothing guaranteed, but a maybe. And just the thought of possibly going back to the Olympics with a gymnast that they've raised since she was a little kid overwhelmed him.
And I talked to Bill right before the competition began, and I asked him, so did you ever think, dream, or did your gymnast think or dream that you'd be in this position at these Olympic trials? And he said, heck no, we just wanted to get here.
In third place.
She's going to start off this routine with a pretty big skill right here. Handles it beautifully.
The 4 events, this is most likely the least critical for her, because she definitely can help Team USA on vault and bring in a big number on floor.
But Timmy, look at what she's putting up on that routine so far. She is looking the most confident I've seen her over the course of these 4 competitions.
That time the Price was right.
Yes.
He's going to be doing that all night long. What a wonderful couple. There, Donna Strauss, Bill Strauss. There's a whole crew, Robin Netwell, Joe Stallone's here, John Holman. And you know, this is her second event. We didn't get to see her on even bar. She scored a 15.3, which is 0.8 better than she did on day one.
She is making it so interesting. She started her routine with this fantastic skill. Tuck full. The girls are making them look so easy today. It's commonplace.
Dismount right here, double pike somersault, and oh, so close to that perfect landing. Just the smallest of hops, but that'll just be 1/10 of a point.
Waiting for Elizabeth Price's score. We can tell you that Jordan Weber on the balance beam got a 14.9. And that's a little more than a 10th off of what she did night one. Okay, so now a 14.55 for Elizabeth Price. I didn't notice anything extraordinarily wrong, but where did she get the deduction?
Yeah, just kind of nitpicky stuff, you know? It wasn't anything immense,
Straight
but it
legs,
was,
pointed toes.
Exactly.
Now, Alicia Sacramone. In Beijing, there were just 4 or 5 fateful seconds that she believed cost the Americans a chance for a gold medal. And here we go.
And right from the top, it was no way.
And so from that moment, she decided to get herself back to this chance. And this beam that lies in front of her is the same demon that it was that day. And it's a way for her to at least dream about being in a post-competition conversation.
And I still can't believe it. She does the same mount. And everyone I've seen her do since that fateful day, she has made it just like that.
Alicia has certainly turned into quite the confident beam worker.
Really, this journey for Alicia has been all about redemption. She says over and over again after the Olympic Games, everybody said, I'm not a good athlete. I can't compete. All of the amazing things that I had done, 7 world medals, but none of that mattered.
She is just competing as one with this beam. She said those outside distractions really got to her in Beijing. Telling you what, she has found a way to just be so focused.
Of course, at the World Championships about 9 months ago, right before the meet began, she tore her Achilles tendon. Most people said no way she'd be back, but look at her right here.
We're seeing some young women rise to a very big occasion. Another returning Beijing star. She tied Mary Lou Retton with 5 medals and all-around gold. Made the decision to come back and go for it again, but at the Nationals in St. Louis, the Visa Championships, and day 1 of the Olympic trials, it just wasn't there.
You know, but I talked to Marta Caroli minutes before the girls lined up to get ready to march in, and I said, so, if Nastia does what she's capable on bars and hits it out of the park, even with 3 falls in the 3 competitions leading up to this, is she in the conversation? And she didn't hesitate. She said yes. Never have I seen her miss that release element in all of her years.
She came down very hard.
Yeah, that really kind of puts a kink right in your neck and knocks the wind out of you.
She has a lot of fans that want to see her land on her feet.
She does.
That's a smart gymnastics crowd.
Wow. Wow.
Beautiful.
From the old guard back to the new. And Allie Raisman.
Allie Raisman just needs to keep doing what she does so well. Hit her routines.
Once again, I talked to Marta just minutes ago, and I asked her how she was feeling, and she said, great. Jordan and Gabby and Allie is so sturdy. She loves the fact that you can always count on her.
She's the national champion on this event.
A big dismount here. She's been amazing, like always.
She's proved her value once again.
Coach Mihai Brestjan, of course, took Alicia Sacramone to the Olympics in 2008.
Sacramone got a 15.15 for her balance beam. And Nastia Lukin, a 13.95 on the uneven bars. It's a number that really seems inconsequential because what may have been the ending was so inglorious and so unfair. And that's the sport. Every 4 years, it seems, it's reproven. Time marches on. Might she be thinking? Find out after our coverage is done. Go to NBCOlympics.com and meet USA's top Olympic gymnast hopefuls, plus much more. Go to NBCOlympics.com to learn more. We'll hear then and there from Nastia Lukin. This night is done, and she has one more performance to think about. Allie Raisman, a 15.4, huge number on the balance beam. Kyla Wills.
And this is her biggest event of the night. The USA, if they have a weakness, it's on the uneven bars, and she has consistently been one of the highest scorers. It's a tricky routine, though.
She actually tied Anna Lee on day one with the highest score. Gives you a little indication of just how great she is on this event.
Really, this one routine, believe it or not, is worth more for her Olympic quest than all the other three put together.
That's a big one.
Could it be much better?
No, that was fantastic. You see a smile from Marta. She was a little frustrated with Kyla, saying that she was a little tentative and maybe not as aggressive, but that one was fantastic. Very difficult routine, and also has a beautiful look in the air. But the most important thing in gymnastics is when those feet move, super glue. You want super glue, and you don't want to move an inch.
Let's check out Marta Karolyi watching this performance unfold.
And she's thinking, yes, I will take that one. That is beautiful.
Like I said, that routine right there, that was big-time pressure for Kyla Ross, and she delivered.
6 world championship medals for Rebecca Bross, and it was not enough.
Yeah.
And then last year, her knee absolutely exploded. Patella came apart. You see what surgery has done to that knee. It's nasty, but it's functional.
And she really has been struggling, though, both at the Visa National Championships and day 1 at the Olympic trials. She was very good here on bars, but it fell apart on balance beam.
And the problem is that Rebecca has become a specialist. She's become a 2-event gymnast, uneven bars, balance beam. And what Marta has told us over the course of these trials is if you're going to be a specialist, you simply have to be fantastic. It's the only way that she'll consider taking an athlete in that role.
We've seen potential specialists. We've seen Alicia Sacramone. We've seen Anna Lee, and the team can't have that many. There's only 5 spots.
Absolutely. If there's a gymnast that's going to fit that bill, it's one. One gymnast is going to get the call for that type of a makeup. And once again, though, on the uneven bars, her coach, Valeri Liukin, knows that she can deliver. She has 6 world medals, as you said, and one of them, I think maybe even 2, come on the uneven bars. She's great here.
And how about the highest uneven bar score we've seen at the trials? 15.65 for Kyla Ross. Here's Rebecca Bross.
She does great work getting right to the handstand, and right there, she is trying to be so perfect that she just tops it off, and I would say her Olympic dream is over at that point.
Oh, goodness.
Looking for Larry. How about the last 5 minutes for him?
You think Rebecca Bross would stop? Not in a million years. She's about as tough as they come.
There are no words.
On balance beam, the score for Kenzie Baker, 14.3.
Before the Olympic trials, Marta told me that she just doesn't know what's wrong with Rebecca Bross. She said she just has to get back to where she was, because at one point she was as dependable as you could possibly be. Marta, of course, been around her for years, not just as a senior, but a junior. Looks a little bit shook up.
It's been an emotional weekend for Gabby Douglas. Her mom and dad are not together, haven't been for a while, and her father hasn't seen her in person for 2.5 years, due in part to a 6-month stint for the United States Army in Afghanistan. But now he suddenly finds a way to make his way back. He showed up with a waving American flag with Gabby's name on it, and it certainly puts emotion into a very emotional weekend.
Absolutely. But this event right here, if Gabby just lets this happen, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, a quick reminder that there will be some very special
If Gabby just lets this happen, this can be phenomenal.
You are personally invited to join
This will be an Olympic uneven bars finals routine. It should be. She had some problems in the first night of competition. Didn't show us her routine as she typically does it.
Trying to go right for a handstand here. She's under. She said after she squeezed every muscle in her body to not fall the wrong way.
But she did that day exactly what she did at the Nationals. She overcame almost a major mistake. She lost at the Nationals by a couple of tenths to Jordan Weber, and after night one with a mistake like that, she trailed Jordan Weber by only 3 tenths.
What you have to watch in this routine is how high Gabby flies in her release skills. She will take your breath away.
So we are waiting for the score of Rebecca Bross before Gabby can begin.
At this point, it really doesn't matter what it is, does it?
This is the part, this is the thing that I hated more than anything about gymnastics is that weight. And it's not just a weight. You have no idea if it's going to be another 5 seconds, another 30 seconds. When they put that green flag up, it means it's time to go.
It just went up.
Gabby says all I need to do is trust myself.
Big air.
Wow.
So this is where she struggled right here, and that was perfect.
Watch the air here.
And down to the low bar. Whoa. She fumbles her grip.
Noah Caroli, a standing ovation. Okay, the second rotation is done. 2 more to go. Remember, 1 slot will be guaranteed from competition, and then Marta Caroli and the selection committee will add 4 names. But Gabrielle Douglas is on her way to try and guarantee that 1 spot. NBC's coverage of the U.S. Olympic Gymnastics trials continues after this. Tomorrow in prime time, the countdown to the London Olympic Games continues on NBC as Missy Franklin competes in the U.S. Olympic swimming trials. And part of that coverage live is the runoff for the final spot on the U.S. Olympic track and field team. Allison Felix and Jenna Batarmo run off for 3rd place after this dead heat in the women's 100 meters. It's all live beginning tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC and NBCSports.com. Well, moments ago, we saw the best uneven bar performance by Gabby Douglas, who now has opened up a lead over Jordan Weber to 1.35. That's significant. And then Kyla Ross, 3.1 behind. Allie Raisman and Elizabeth Price still continues to be there in the top 5. Now, Gabby Douglas's score of 15.9, the highest we've seen. It came a whisker away from being a disaster.
It did, and you know, Gabby was once thought of as not as mentally tough or as dependable. But watch this here. She's going to do 2 releases in a row, and then look at her right arm as she reaches for the bar. She misses it. And that sends panic into your soul. But she is able to get right back on track and deliver in a big way.
That's the kind of move that can do a lot more than the final number. That's for sure. Gabby Douglas has moved to the next rotation, the balance beam.
Biggest competition of my life so far.
I'm really excited to be here. It's such an honor. I know that it's so many girls' dreams to even be here.
Coming into trials, I was pretty nervous.
I had made a couple of mistakes and I still have ways to improve. I'm going to keep finding my way to the top. My main goal is to go out and hit 4 strong, confident routines. It's probably the one thing in life that I have
wanted forever. The possibility of going to London is just, it's such a dream come true.
It's not just like a puppy that you want for Christmas. It's the Olympics.
Okay, so this is bigger than a puppy.
Oh, my goodness. That is priceless.
Michaela Maroney started off on the uneven bars not well, saved her night perhaps on the balance beam, and she can sort of solidify things with a performance coming up on floor exercise. Now, what of Elizabeth Price?
Well, remember, this routine the other night is what brought tears to her coach, Bill Strauss.
Not a female gymnast in the world that has more power than this young lady right here. Her first 2 tumbling passes out of this world.
The clean-out.
Those smiles throughout this routine were for her coaches who have told her to dream big.
On balance beam, the score for Sabrina Vega, 14.55. Now on balance beam, Rebecca Powell.
Elizabeth was asked before the season, what are your goals? And she said, make the national team and qualify for the Pan Am Games.
We're going to try to get right into you after this first one, okay?
One more rotation, one more performance for her to go.
She's been fantastic tonight.
Done herself a lot of favors.
And her biggest comes in the next rotation, where she is super powerful and does that really hard vault that really, at this point, the Americans have just blown everybody away in the world. She compares to Michaela Maroney.
Getting set for her performance on floor exercise is Aly Raisman. We all remember that night a couple of years ago, don't we? When Aly, in one night in Worcester, Massachusetts, went from who is this to that's Alexandra Raisman.
And I'll never forget it because she over-competed. I've never seen an athlete that had so little international experience, not even international, had so little experience at that type of a competition, and she looked completely unaffected.
And look at her now. She's had so much experience, in fact.
That's a good green score for Elizabeth Price, 14.95.
Yeah, she's doing her job.
I was going to say, Aly, the national champion on this event. Not only that, she's been a bronze medalist at the World Championships. She has some of the hardest tumbling in the world.
And watch this routine. She'll actually turn her body over 7 times in this one tumbling pass. It's ridiculous.
rise.
Whoa. You jinxed her, Al. Oh, no.
Well, Allie, coming into this rotation, was over 3 points behind, so she is going to have to be one of the 4 names that get announced now in less than an hour.
Very good. You shouldn't have.
Don't worry, Allie, no problem.
There'll be a presentation as well of the men's team, but here is Nastya Lukin, and you have to figure a great champion does not want the last image to be like it was at uneven bars.
This can be a great set for Nastya, and what she's done for me in this journey is reminded me of just how beautiful she is in the artistry. Nobody does it better than Nastya.
She said this comeback was never about herself. She said she had crossed off all of her goals at the 2008 Olympic Games. This is, if I could help the team, I wanted to be there. Absolutely one of the all-time great champions of the sport of gymnastics. Has a legacy that will never be forgotten.
And a much better way for a career to come to a close, most likely. Now Michaela Maroney in a very important floor exercise for her.
Yeah, this is an event where she potentially could compete in the 3-up, 3 count. She got a hit here.
When Michaela Maroney came to the trials, Marta was asked about her, and she said, when I looked in her eye after that injury 3 weeks ago, I saw everything I needed to see. She's going to need a little bit of that belief.
Yeah, she is.
A very special night at HP Pavilion, where gymnastics fans came to see if one of the greats could do what hasn't happened in 30 years. And it is as hard as it looks. Nastia Liukin, the all-around gold medalist from 2008, with tear-filled eyes, says thank you and most likely goodbye.
Go to NBCOlympics.com to watch the 30 greatest NBC Olympic moments and vote for your favorite. From one amazing moment to the next, Chevy runs deep.
We all have our favorites, and it's a fun conversation. All eyes now on the balance beam. In the next few minutes, we're going to see Jordan Weber on the floor and Kyla Ross right now on the beam.
I remember her last event on even bars was so critical for her, and she definitely delivered. This is an event where historically she has been just a wonderful competitor, but in some of these trials has looked a little bit nervy.
I think one of the reasons why Marta Karolyi is so gung-ho about this athlete is her look.
Had a little bit of an error right there.
Break.
She was supposed to continue on. She'll lose 1/10 of a point, but
she does love the quality of her gymnastics, the lines, the aesthetics. This is the type of gymnastics that traditionally has scored very well on the international stage.
I would say predominantly, though, what the selection committee are looking for is they're looking for confidence and aggressiveness and being able to deliver on a 4-inch piece of apparatus under these extreme conditions.
This is what she's been doing well all week long in the trials, sticking.
Well, guys, let's see. Her best night was on the last night of Olympic trials. Now Jordan Weber. She's given way to Gabby Douglas and trails by over a point. Again, the top spot will be awarded automatically based on score. Then 4 other names will be announced in less than an hour. selling it. Kyla Ross, a 15.05 on the balance beam. When we come back, we'll see if Gabby Douglas can seal that guaranteed Olympic spot on the balance beam. The Family Cam is brought to us by P&G. We focus on the moms. That is Natalie Hawkins, Gabby Douglas's mom. She has been very, very confident. Fist in the air when Gabby's done well. And right now, her daughter is in front in the Olympic trials, getting set to go on the balance beam. By the way, Jordan Weaver said, "Not so fast, kid," with a 15.6 on floor exercise a moment ago.
Well, you know, I talked with her mom the other day while I was getting coffee, and she says, everybody is telling me she's a lock, but I'm just going to wait until I get to hear her call her name. Then I'll be great.
And this event for Gabby has given her some grief in the past. She's had some moments on balance beam that she would like to forget. But when she's on, it's incredible. It can put up a huge score for the U.S. team.
But you know, the errors that she's had in the past few competitions on beam are really on elements that are so easy for her. She says she just has to think and concentrate, and there's a little bit of a hesitation.
Yep.
And once again,
A save.
that skill right there has been haunting her, and it's so easy for her.
Oh, and that typically is very easy for Gabby as well. These are things that make Marta Karolyi very, very nervous.
Yeah, this is really jittery. It's so hard, you know, when you start off on beam like that, it's impossible to make those jitters go away.
She'll be angry with herself because at national championships, when she had that fall, she said, "I just felt like kicking a chair." And these are areas that she has worked on so hard over the past 2 weeks. Just hasn't come together yet. Big dismount.
That had the feel of a high wire out.
Yeah, it did.
Thank you too, Joe.
So watch right here. She really,
That's a save.
I'll tell you, his feet got to find that beam. But that element for her, I've seen her do it in practice hundreds of times with no error whatsoever.
So a couple of dangerous almosts for Gabby Douglas, but we'll see how she survives as they move on to the final rotation to determine who goes to London in just a few weeks. NBC's coverage of the 2012 U.S. Gymnastics trials are brought to you by the Samsung Series 9. Rethink the laptop. By Kellogg's. From great starts come great things. And by Chevrolet. From one amazing moment to the next, Chevy runs deep. USA Gymnastics Fan Fest outside the HP Pavilion. Tim, what was it like when you and Elfie went there?
That was fun. It was fun. We got to talk to the crowd, see little guys like that jumping around.
Moments ago, Gabby Douglas received a 14.85 on the balance beam, which means this last rotation is going to be very interesting because the lead is cut in half to 0.6 for Gabby Douglas over Jordan Weaver. And these two have had quite a duel, both at the Nationals, where it was 0.2, and after the first night, which it was 0.3. And it's been an emotional night for sure for one Nastia Liukin, who is right now with Andrea Joyce.
And Al, obviously not the Olympic trials that Nastia had hoped for. You haven't had a whole lot of time to absorb what's happened in the last hour, but take us through your thoughts, your emotions right now.
Really emotional. I wasn't really expecting that, and I kind of had tears in my eyes just seeing the 12 to 15,000 people on their feet cheering for me, and it was an emotional but an amazing way to end my career.
Well, that was an amazing moment, but the roller coaster for you, because just moments before falling off the bars, did you see the whole Olympic dream just go away?
You know, going into today, I had a little bit of a different mindset. There was many times when people asked if maybe I just wanted to scratch and, you know, call it quits, but that's not the kind of person I am. I'm a fighter, and I'm going to do whatever I set out to do, and that was to compete today. And of course, falling, you know, I wish I could have done that bar routine and proven to everybody that I'm capable of doing it, but I understand that, you know, my time's up, and I'm so excited to be able to cheer these girls on.
Well, they loved seeing you here. Congratulations on everything in your career.
Thank you so much. Al?
Andrea, it's got to be one of the toughest things in sports to know that in a sport that you love, you may have done it for one last time. Gabrielle Douglas has a 6-10 lead with one more performance to go in her night. Our coverage of the 2012 U.S. Olympic trials is presented by Chevrolet. Back in the HP Pavilion, Bella Caroli, husband of Marta, is there with Steve Rybacki and Taryn Humphrey, the athlete representative, and they will be the ones to go into a room when the competition is done to fill out the final four gymnasts. Remember, the top one after the all-around will be guaranteed a spot. Now here's Alicia Sacramone doing 2 vaults.
Alicia Sacramone.
She actually has 10 world medals. She is a 6-time U.S. vaulting champion, and she can get some serious air.
Tim, do you think she's in play?
Well, it's very hard.
Does she think she's in play?
Well, I firmly believe that this is the journey that she set out after having not the competition at the Olympic Games that you want. She said she just had to give it another shot, and just to be at this point and to have come back from that torn Achilles tendon 9 months ago, right before the World Championships, it is phenomenal.
And
absolutely amazing.
Alicia's been watching the practices. She knows what's on the table. She has watched the talent level in this country just skyrocket with such great depth of the U.S. team on this particular event, her specialty.
15.8 on the first vault. Great score.
She said the pressure of 2008 was overwhelming. She didn't even realize, didn't have any memories from the trials. She wanted to enjoy it. That was a great moment right there.
I'll take it. I didn't land on my face.
15.2 after 15.8. But a gorgeous looking landing on the second vault.
Now Allie's going to perform one of those very difficult vaults. We've been talking about the great depth that this team has. It's worth a 6.5, and she says she is trying to fight for a spot at the Olympic Games should she make the team for that 3-up, 3 count. She wants this position.
But really, what it comes down to is she's just got to run down, flip over a bunch of times, do 2.5 twists, and come up safe. And this young lady is going to London. One of the toughest competitors you will ever see in any sport right here. That was not great for Allie, and actually a little bit scary on that landing. When those legs lock, it just sends a shiver down certainly Mihai's back. because knees can do really weird things when you do that.
And that's the difficulty of this vault. It's a blind landing, and these athletes want so desperately to stick this vault to maximize the score.
Doesn't really get the push, but none of that matters. Like I said, you see that leg lock, though. Scary, but all she needed to do was be able to do what she's doing right now. Walk away from the vault. And if she's not on the Olympic team, I have no idea what they're thinking.
Yeah, I think it might leg gave out a little on my leg. Like a lot of stuff to take it.
Allie Raisman on the vault, 15.3. I think we heard her say she felt her leg give out.
Both things I landed like really weird.
So now, Taylor Maroney, some good moments, some not so good moments.
But I'll tell you, she on this one event right here has the ability to increase Team USA's potential score at the Olympic Games by close to 0.8 of a point. One exercise. That's why she's in the position she's in. That's why she is the greatest vaulter in the world right now.
So Maroney just has to wait and find out if her name gets called. Kyla Ross has had a very good night here in San Jose, California.
What I love what her coaches have done with this routine is they've chosen a very big piece of music. It's powerful. This could be a memorable moment for Kyla. It's a great moment for Kyla. I think that smile on her face at the end, she thinks she's done enough.
Well, she did all she could today, that's for sure. Before the trials began, I think Marta Karolyi believed she was as close to a lock as you could get. She had some struggles, but today, she was fabulous.
That vault that we saw from Taylor Maroney got a huge 16.15.
And that is a huge number. Once again, how she can make that Olympic team with just that one event.
Jordan Weber on the vault. Gabby Douglas will finish up on the floor.
And to tell you how tight this is going to be, if you took scores from day one of the Olympic trials for both of these athletes, Jordan Weber and Gabby Douglas, they would be separated at the end by 0.15, and who wins that?
Jordan Weber.
Gabby Douglas. little bit confused at what's going on here. It's very unusual.
There is a lot of energy in this building.
So now you have the two leaders standing about 50 feet from each other, both holding. Gabby Douglas on the corner of the floor, Jordan Weber at the beginning of the runway.
Jordan Weber.
And now she's got to go.
And I watched Jordan do 3 of the best vaults that I've ever seen her do back to back to back in warm-ups before the meet began. That was really good.
And Jordan Weber's night is done. There's no need for her to have any worry at all.
No, absolutely none. She's an Olympian right now.
Gabby Douglas. Now she needs better than a 15.2 to hold the top spot away from Jordan Weber, who received a 15.8, 1/10 less than she got on night 1.
Gabby scored 15.45
Good job.
on full exercise. Day 1 of the trials. She had a couple of little errors in there, though, especially at the end. A very
Right at the end.
bizarre little jump there.
So they were separated by 2/10 at the Nationals in St. Louis, by 3/10 after night 1 here, and here is the conclusion of Elizabeth Price's night on the vault. And it's a huge question. Has she done enough? She's been so solid.
Well, this is exactly where she adds value to the U.S. team if they chose to use Elizabeth. She has probably the 2nd best vault in the world.
Big power. It was great, but out of bounds, off to the side. But a phenomenally talented and powerful athlete.
So we're waiting for one big number. The number needs to be better than a 15.2 for Gabby Douglas. So 15.2, better than that. And guess what? It's a 15.3. The crowd sees it. And Gabby Douglas, by 1/10, that's one little step somewhere along the way, is going to get that one guaranteed spot to London.
But there's another guaranteed spot, without a doubt. Jordan Weber is an Olympian. She has won every title. She's the reigning world champion.
How fantastic to go into London with these 2 young ladies.
Come on, Sabrina. The floor was awesome. Good job. Good job, Gabby. Nice job. Congratulations, Gabby. Thanks, Phil.
You know, like we said, Gabby is going to get that automatic spot, but really, there are two other athletes that, without a doubt, they are going to earn a ticket to London. It's just the formality of going to the back room. One of them's Jordan Weber. The other is Aly Raisman.
That was John Orozco, who's going to have a nice moment himself when he's introduced as a member of the U.S. men's team heading to London. You could almost sense in some of the hugs, okay, here we go together. Here we go.
And I think you got a bunch of Olympians right there.
Yeah.
I think Michaela Maroney
After
on the
those
right.
vaults she performed, oh my goodness, that's a big score.
I think she proved her point, made a statement.
I don't know how you just can't possibly not take the world champion.
Elizabeth Price got a 15.7 on the vault. She, interestingly enough, and I don't know whether it's symbolic or not, she's just on the outside of this circle.
Well, she had a fantastic competition. You know, just getting here, her coach Bill Strauss told me was the goal, and she did a fantastic job.
Elizabeth said her family and friends back home, they kept telling her, we know you're going to make it to London. Just go out there and show them your stuff. She did all she could do.
But, you know, you see Jordan right here. As I said, she's the reigning world champion. And I would say, without a doubt, the USA has the top two all-around gymnasts going to the Olympic Games.
And now the wait begins. But before they go into the room, we go to Andrea Joyce.
All right, Al. Gabby, congratulations. You get the automatic bid. Can you describe this moment?
Thank you. Oh my God, I just give all the glory to God. I mean, he's blessed me so much, and I just feel so excited and ready to honor and commit to do my duties in London at Team USA.
You came in trailing for day 2. What did you tell yourself out there? You also had some scary moments up on the beam.
Yeah, I was just really shaky on the beam, but I told myself that I am not coming off and just fight through as much as you can and just go headstrong.
You told us the other day that you would do a happy dance if you made the Olympic team. Do you have it in you?
Yeah, I can do the Dougie for you guys.
That's pretty good. Congratulations, Al.
Well, she can do the Dougie, and she also sounded like she was signing up for the military there. These are nice moments. So there goes Marta Caroli down the hallway with President and CEO Steve Penny, Steve Rybacki, Taryn Humphrey, and the selection committee. When they come out, we'll know who the fabulous 5 are going to be for London. Behind closed doors down that hallway, the selection committee is meeting and talking right now, coming up with the 4 names to complete Team USA for the London Olympics. Wow, what a finish. Just as you predicted, Tim, and what we've seen so far, Gabby Douglas gets that 1 guaranteed spot by 1/10 over Jordan Weber, Aly Raisman, then Elizabeth Price, and Kyla Ross. Tough decisions going on right now. Let's meet the men's team announced earlier today. Here's Dan Mowdy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming your 2012 U.S. Men's Olympic Team. From Reno, Nevada, and the University of Oklahoma, Jake Dalton. From Houston, Texas, and Team Hilton Honors Cypress Academy, Jonathan Horton. From Houston, Texas, and Team Hilton Honors Cypress Universal Gymnastics, Danelle Leyva, Miami, Florida. From Newport Coast, California, and the University of Michigan, Sam McCulloch. From the Bronx, New York, and Team Hilton Honors U.S. Olympic Training Center, John Orozco. Members of the team as replacement gymnasts from Houston, Texas, and Team Hilton Honors Cypress Academy, Chris Brooks. From Port Jefferson, New York, and Team Hilton Honors, Oklahoma, Stephen Legendre. And from Gilbert, Arizona, and Team Hilton Honors, USA Youth Fitness, Alex Nador.
So there's the team. Jake Dalton, Jonathan Horton, Danelle Leyva, Sam McCulloch, and John Orozco, and the replacement gymnasts, who I would think, Tim and Elfie, have to be on their toes because Sam McCulloch's ankle has to heal.
Yeah, they do, but I would tell you this team, unquestionably a contender to win a medal. They could even challenge for as high as silver and maybe even gold.
The same salute to the women as they continue to crunch the numbers here in San Jose. That was not one of the members of the selection committee. That is a hopeful coach, Mihai Brescian, as the selection committee remains here in the HP Pavilion behind those doors. But it was nice seeing the men get there. Applause from this sellout crowd, and a man who cried just a couple of nights ago. John Orozco is with Andrea Joyce.
And Al, we remember when John won the national championship a couple weeks ago. You called it a dream of a lifetime. What do you call this, being on the Olympic team?
I call this a dream come true. I mean, all my life I've been dreaming about this every night before I go to bed, and finally I don't have to dream about it anymore. Now I can just remember it.
You've had about 24 hours for it to sink in because you were one of the automatics. Did you have a nice night's sleep, unlike some of the other guys?
Yeah, I did. I did have a good night's sleep, but I still understand what the other guys are going through because I haven't been picked yet. But today was the day, and I couldn't be happier with the team that we picked.
Your mom and dad have been there with you every step of the way. I know that your mom has had some health problems recently. How much does this mean to not just to you, but to your entire family for you to be able to make this journey to London?
This means the world to me and my family because I know that they wanted this so bad for me, and I wanted this for them also. And I mean, I can't believe that I'm actually here, and it's all happening right now. And I'm just so fortunate and glad that it's happening at this time.
When you heard your name announced as an Olympian for the first time, tears were streaming down your cheek. It's a couple of hours later, you've had time to compose yourself, but what was going through your mind at that moment?
At that moment when they finally named me as an Olympian, it was just an overwhelming mix of emotions that came over me, and I couldn't even control myself. I was trying to, tell my parents that I love them, and I almost couldn't, but I mean, I just couldn't even describe what I was feeling. It was unbelievable.
Well, congratulations, and we will see you in London.
Thank you.
All right, Al?
Those were nice pictures. The door's still closed as they wrestle with who the 5 women are going to be. Al Trautwig, Tim Daggett, Elfie Schlegel. What do you think the toughest thing is right now in there?
I don't really know. From what we saw at the Olympic trials, in a lot of ways, I think the team that everyone was anticipating, it's going to come, I mean, certainly, in addition to Gabby, Jordan is going, and Allie Raisman, I can't envision her not. And I think Michaela Maroney proved that she's back. She had that incredible injury just 3 weeks ago, and she is world-class, the absolute best vaulter in the world. So it's one more spot. And if I had to guess, I'm going to say that it's Kyla Ross. She looked a little shaky, lead up to this competition, but she did the job tonight, and she had, I believe, the second highest score on uneven bars, and that one event is where, if Team USA struggles, it's there. I think she did enough.
Elfie, is that your team too?
Absolutely. That was the team that, and here they come, slowly but surely, but that was the team that we anticipated before the start of tonight's competition, and I think the potential of putting out the top scores possibly are those 5 names.
Well, you saw CEO and president of USA Gymnastics, Steve Penny, walk out the door. He's going to make the announcement, so you have to figure that they've made a decision.
Oh, I'm certain that they have. I know that what they're doing is they want to let, obviously, the athletes know, they want to let the coaches know, and they want to let the kids that, unfortunately, their dream isn't going to come true tonight. They wanted to let them know, too.
Billy.
The fans are busy doing the wave. They don't recognize Steve's presence and what's going to happen in just a moment. Well, here he is. Steve Penny from USA Gymnastics onto the floor for the 5 gymnasts and the replacement gymnasts who go to London.
Good evening. Please welcome the 5 members of the women's 2012 U.S. Olympic team. Gabby Douglas, Michaela Maroney, Allie Reisman, Kyla Ross, and Jordan Weber.
What we're told is that the team, the 14 women who competed here tonight, are all back in the locker room. They've been told who the team is. And maybe what's going on right now is they're trying to decide if they still come out as a 14-woman unit or not. Or something even less than that and greater than the 5.
Well, for all 14 of them back there, Al, this is greater emotion than they most likely have ever experienced in their entire lives. And, you know, these athletes, they have grown up together in the sport of gymnastics. They truly are good friends. And for those that fell a little bit short, it's devastating. And they all want to be there to console and congratulate.
Quick thought, Tim.
Well, I think they did it right. The committee got it right. And this team, they are undoubtedly the favorites to win gold come London time.
Yeah, and for both the men and the women, they have trained so hard together. They are committed. They are committed to going to London and making every effort to bring home gold.
Congratulations, Jordan Weber, Gabby Douglas, Alexandra Reisman, Kyla Ross, and Michaela Maroney, and Sarah Finnegan, Elizabeth Price, and Anna Lee, who will be the replacement gymnasts. The Olympics begin on the 27th of July, gymnastics the day after. Tomorrow in prime time, the countdown to the London Olympic Games continues on NBC as Missy Franklin competes in the U.S. Olympic swimming trials. And live, it's the runoff for the final spot on the U.S. Olympic track and field team. Allison Felix and Jenna Batarbo, the runoff for third place after their dead heat in the women's 100 meters. That's live tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC and NBCSports.com. A fabulous weekend in front of a great crowd in San Jose, California. For Elfie Schlegel, Tim Daggett, and Andrea Joyce, I'm Al Trowig. So long for all of us here in San Jose. We'll see you in London.